Okay, this is going to be a video for Algebra 2, solving by completing the square. In the last unit, we talked about completing the square in general, so I'm not going to get too much into the details of how to do that. But what we're going to talk about is, given the quadratic equation, use completing the square to write the equation in vertex form, find the vertex, the transformations, and the solutions. Okay, so just like the last time, what we want to do is we want to move that number over to this side. So that'd be positive 56. Okay, we want to take this term and divide it by 2. So that would be x minus 5 squared. Now we're going to do two things with that. When I divide it by 2, I get negative 5. All right, I'm going to put that there, and then I'm going to square negative 5. Okay, and that's going to be positive 25, positive 25. Okay, so when I add those up, I get 81. Okay, now I'm going to pause there for a second. Okay, so basically to do this next part, okay, to get the equation in vertex form, okay, what I would do is I would move that 81 back. All right, so this is what my equation looks like in vertex form. Okay, but equals 0 equals y, doesn't matter. The vertex, we talked about this last time. I want to put the opposite of what's in here, and I want to keep that, okay? So that's opposite and keep, okay? All right, now what's the transformations? How would you graph that? You would go right 5, down 81, okay? Now, let's talk about how you get the solutions. This part is new. So what I want to do is at this point, instead of moving that back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve by square roots, okay? We did that earlier in this unit. Square root plus and minus. So that turns into x minus 5 equals the square root of 81 is 9. Then I want to add 5 in here. So x equals 5 plus and minus 9. Well, what does that mean? 5 plus 9, which is 14. 5 minus 9, which is negative 4. So my solutions there are x equals 14 and x equals negative 4. Okay? So really all we're adding here, in the previous unit, we moved this back, found this vertex form. Now to solve it, we just leave that 81 over there. In essence, that's what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to go through some examples with that. Okay, so what I want to do is move that 28. So I got x squared plus 16x equals negative 28. I want to divide 16 by 2, which would be 8. So x plus 8. Then I want to square that 8. That is positive 64. Positive 64. Okay, all right. If I add those two numbers up, okay, all right, negative 28 plus 64, I get 36. Okay, all right, so I got that plus that squared. Now, to write the vertex form, I move that back, so that would be x plus 8 squared, okay, minus 36 equals 0, okay? What's my vertex? My vertex is negative 8, negative 36. Opposite, follow. How would I get that? Or if I go left 8, down 36. Okay? Now, to get the solutions, instead of moving it back, I'm just going to solve it by square roots. Square root, plus and minus. Square root of that is going to be x plus 8. Square root of 36 is plus and minus 6. Subtract 8. I get x equals negative 8 plus and minus 6. What does that mean? Negative 8 plus 6, negative 8 minus 6. Okay, negative 8 plus 6 would be negative 2. Negative 8 minus 6 would be negative 14. So I get answers of x equals negative 2, x equals negative 14. Okay? All right? All right, so let's do another one that you guys are going to practice. And the reason why we're doing this with the solutions, instead of factoring it or quadratic formula, it's just another method. So what I want to do is I want to move that over. That's going to be negative 216. Okay, I want to take 30 and divide it by 2. Okay, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. I was doing great with my work before. I'm just going to leave it like this. I'm going to do 30 divided by 2. I get 15. I'm going to square that 15. 15 squared is positive 225. Positive 225. Okay? So if I combine that, negative 16, 225 is 9, okay? Now, to get the vertex form, what I would do is I would move that back over. So I got x plus 15 squared minus 9 equals 0. This is going to be, the vertex would be negative 15, negative 9. How would I graph that? Left 15, down 9. The solutions, I would set this equal square root, plus and minus, okay? Square root of x plus 15, square root of 9 plus or minus 3. Subtract 15. I got negative 15 plus or minus 3, okay? So I got negative 15 plus 3, negative 15 minus 3. Negative 15 plus 3 would be negative 12. That'd be negative 18. Okay? All right, so that's the first part of this, okay? All right? So why don't you guys pause your video and go ahead and do these with the same things. Okay, now, I'm going to go over a couple of them that involving just reducing the square root. Okay, same concept. 81 moves over. Take 22 divided by 2, I get 11. 11 squared is 121. Add 121, I get 40. Okay, all right. Now, vertex form, I would move that back. So it would be x plus 11 squared minus 40 equals 0. Okay, my vertex would be negative 11, negative 40. How would I get there? Left 11, sorry, down 40. Okay, now, I got to solve this. I wanted to show you what happens. I get x plus 11 squared equals 40. Take the square root plus and minus. Okay, so that's x plus 11. Now, my problem here is 40 is not a perfect square root, so I have to break that down. 2 and 20, 2 and 10, 2 and 5. Just like we did earlier in this unit. Okay, that's my pair. So I got x plus 11 equals plus and minus 2 square root of what's left over on the inside, 2 and 5, which would be 10. Okay, so what I would do is subtract 11. So my solutions are negative 11 plus or minus 2 square root of 10. Okay, and what those are going to be, this would be for one that's not factorable. You can do the quadratic formula and you get the same answer. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, so move that 25 to be negative 25. X squared minus 14x. All right, then I want to divide this by 2. That's x minus 7 squared. All right, I want to square the negative 7. Okay, that's going to be 49. So plus 49 plus 49. Okay, if I combine those, I get 24. Okay, now vertex form, I would move that back. That would be x minus 7 squared minus 24 equals 0. Okay, my vertex is 7, negative 24. My transformations are right 7, down 24. Okay, now to solve this, okay, what I would do, all right, I got x minus 7 squared equals 24. Take the square root, plus and minus on both sides. That's going to be x minus 7. Now that's not going to break down to be something nice. So that'd be 2 and 12, 2 and 6, 2 and 3. Cross those out. There's my pair. Okay, so that would be plus or minus 2. Square root of 2 and 3 are left over on the inside, so that'd just be 6. And then I would add 7 over to the other side. Ran out of board space here. Plus or minus 2 square root of 6. All right, so x equals 7 plus or minus 2 square root of 6. So if you get one that's not perfect, you just have to break it down the way we've always broken them down, okay? All right, so go ahead and try these on your own, and that concludes the lesson.